All right, guys, let's talk about composite area. Composite area is when they give you something like this and they say, find the area of the shaded region. And they might tell you that this is a 7x6 box and this is a 50x31 box. That just happens to be the example I'm looking at. What you're going to do is you're going to find the area of the big rectangle. It's this whole thing. And that's just going to be base times height, so 50 times 31 equals whatever 50 times 31 is. Looks like 1,550. Then you find the area of the little piece of just this little rectangle inside. And that's 7 times 6. I don't need a calculator for that. And then we're just going to subtract these two. I will use a calculator for that. When you subtract those, what we're going to be left with is just that blue region. And that gives me 1,508. We don't know what units we're using, so I'm just going to say units squared. That's how you're going to start with composite area. Now, sometimes you're given shapes other than just rectangles. Let's say, for example, you're given something that looks like this. Try and draw this as well as I can. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but it's good enough. Okay, you're given this shape. It's a circle inside of a square. And it says, find the area of the shaded region. Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. And it tells you that this is 24 by 24. And this time it happens to tell us inches, so we have units. Hooray! Now, finding the area of the big square is what we're going to do first. Now, that's going to be pretty straightforward. Area of a big square is just base times height. So, if area equals base times height, we'll do 24 times 24. I'll get whatever that answer is. I think it's like some 76. 24 times 24. Yeah, 576. Okay. Oop, not 56. 576. Okay. Now I'm going to find the area of my circle. Now I need to think about this for a second. If this is 24 all the way across, then what? Now all the way across the circle, we refer to that as our diameter. But our area for a circle formula is area equals pi r squared, where r is your radius. Thus, we're going to need to find this distance that I have marked in green. Well, if all the way across is 24, halfway across is 12. So our area is equal to pi, which they said to use 3.14, times 12 squared. Again, calculator. Calculator tells me that is 452.16. Now it says round to the nearest hundredth. Well, here's the hundredth place. There's nothing next to it, so this just stays as 452.16 inches squared. Let's go ahead and do another one of these, this time involving a trapezoid. So let's say they give you a shape like this. And again, all they want you to do is find the area of the shaded region. And they tell you that these are right angles because they're just nice people like that. And they tell you that this is 8, this is 10, and this is 14, and this time it's in yards. Well, we're going to use the area of a trapezoid formula, and then we're going to use the area of a rectangle formula, and then we're going to subtract. So we're going to take area of a trapezoid is equal to base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times height, and area of a rectangle is base times height. So area of my trapezoid, my two bases are 14 and 10. So 14 plus 10 over 2 divided by times 8. Does it matter if I list the 10 first and the 14 second? No, it does not. So I'd go ahead and compute this. I'm going to go ahead and calculator that, because why not? 14 plus 10 over 2 times 8. It's giving me 96. And area equals base times height. Well, our base isn't 14 because 14 is this whole distance, but the rectangle is just this distance, which is 10, just like up top. So we'll have 10 times 8. That'll give me 80. So I need to subtract these two things to find the area of my two shaded regions. So 96 minus 80 gives me 16, and it's in yards squared. This is pretty much how you're going to do all these problems. Find the area of the big shape, find the area of the little shape, and subtract them. Now there's one last thing we need to talk about. What if they asked you to find the area of something like this? And they said, okay, all the way across this is, I'm going to say 10. And this distance is 3, and this distance is 3. This distance is 4. This distance is 2. Okay? Now we're going to find the area of this shape. Now, in order to find the area of this shape, we're actually going to do some adding. We're going to add together a couple pieces, because I see this splits into 4 shapes: a rectangle, a rectangle, a rectangle, and half a circle. Now, let's do the rectangles first, because rectangles are easy. Now, if this is 4, then guess what? This is 4, and this is 4. So if this whole thing is 4 plus 2, well, that's 6. So area of this guy, base times height, is 6 times 3, because that's my base. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of keep that to the side for now. Need to find the area of this rectangle. It's 3 by 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so we're just going to kind of keep these numbers in our heads for now. Now, if this whole way across, this is the hardest part of the whole question. Maybe I should have started here. Whole way across is 10, right? Now, we know we went 3. We know we went 3. So what is left to be the distance across the circle? Because 3 plus whatever this is needs to be 10. Well, I know 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus what makes 10? 4. So that means that I know that this distance right here is 4. Okay, cool. So I can find the area of my last rectangle. It's 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, now I have the area of all of my rectangles. But what's left? The area of the square. Okay, well, it's 4 here, so what would halfway across be? 2, which gives us our radius. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind, this is half of a circle, so instead of just pi r squared, we're going to take half of that. So 1/2, again, we'll use 3.14, and our radius is 2 squared. 1/2 times 3.14 times 2 squared. And that is 6.28. Okay, and that's the area of the little square. So if I wanted to find the area of this whole big shape, I would do 18 plus 12 plus 16 plus 6.28. Which is 52.28. And that's composite area.